Today's Magical Girl Explained will talk about Kanagi Izumi. Now shall we begin? Kanagi Izumi is an 18-year-old magical girl. She is 155 centimeters in height, her eye color is gray, and her hair is white. Kanagi originates from Daisho Ward in Kamihama. Her soul gem is a gray oval that has a purple hue in her transformation. It's located on her right eye as a monocle. Her weapon is a horse whip, also known as a riding crop. As a weapon, a crop can be carried as a weapon in Sherlock Holmes series of novels and short stories. Holmes is occasionally said to carry one of his favorite weapons, for example, The Adventure of the Six Napoleons. Specifically, it is loaded hunting crop. Such crops were sold at one time. Loading refers to the practice of fitting the shape and head with heavy metal, etc. with steel and lead, to provide some heft. Kanagi's witch and double is Catacombe. Her relatives are her unnamed mother, father, and brother. She attends Daisho Academy and is in the 12th grade. Kanagi's wish was to know why does everyone hate Daisho Ward. I wish to know the reason why everyone hates Daisho. Kanagi's magical girl element is the light element and her ability is mind reading. A magical girl who wants equality and peace, unselfish and full of justice. Her charisma attracts people to her appearance and the strength of her words. Since she must earn her living expenses in order to support her poor family, she is marines every day in her multiple part-time jobs. The double of demolition, its form is a heath lion. The master of this emotion is cold-headed, but her double is burning with endless rage. Its form is a rampaging lion that rams all around into pieces with its gashing teeth. It refuses to forgive the smallest of injustices and demolishes anything it deems irrational. Strictness incarnate, it may target others simply for living in Kamihama, so its master must take care when summoning it, lest it hurt her allies. If she continues to use this doppel, she may become similarly unforgiving. It may be uncontrollable, but its master half agrees with its judgment. There is not much I know about Kanagi in the main story, except for a sense in time in the anime, spoiler warning ahead, where Yacho is talking on the phone and is believed she is talking to Kanagi on the phone. Kanagi destroys a witch. She notices that the witches have become more numerous and powerful than before, and decides to let every magical girl know about this. She first meets Tsukasa Amane and says she wants to introduce her to someone. Kanagi takes Tsukasa to meet Mitima Yakumo. Mitima says Tsukasa looks just like her sister Tsukuyo Amane. Kanagi reveals Tsukuno and Mitima used to be classmates. Mitima then uses her power on Tsukasa. Kanagi then asks Mitima if she notices any changes. Mitima says she's been having more customers from all over Kamihama. Kanagi then explains the increased pressure and power of witches. which is something that Mitima has already noticed. Tsukasa then receives a call from Tsukuyo and says she has to head to Mizuna Ward. Tsukasa thanks Kanagi and Magi and departs. Mitima says she'll close her shop for the day and asks if she can go home with Kanagi. As they walk home, some passers-by are surprised to see that Mitima and Kanagi are wearing Daishio uniforms. The next day, Kanagi is working at a maid cafe when Tsukasa arrives. Tsukasa says something happened yesterday. However, Tsukasa runs off before she can explain it. Kanagi texts Tsukasa, but Tsukasa tells her not to worry. Kanagi returns home and is welcomed by her parents. Her mother says she's making dinner. Kanagi points out that her mother forgot to start the rice cooker. Kanagi's brother arrives. Kanagi asks him to set the table. Kanagi's brother asks his father about his leg. Kanagi's father says it still hurts and says if he wasn't injured, things would be easier. Kanagi tells him not to worry. Kanagi's father then notices his son has a bruise on his head. The boy says some people from the west part of Kamehama tried to pick a fight. Kanagi's brother claims to have ignored them, but he was so angry he punched at a wall. Kanagi thinks about the events of the past few days and decides she needs to meet the other magical girls. Later, Kanagi meets Mikamao and explains what she found about witches. Kanagi says Mao hasn't been a magical girl for that long, and she should be careful. Kanagi says she's always available to help and goes off to warn more magical girls. Before she leaves, Himika gives Kanagi her family's special energy drink. Kanagi finds she doesn't like it at all. Kanagi then meets with Sekakumi and Layla in Buki. Kanagi tells them about the changes in witches. The girls say they thought it was something like that. And their friend, Ino also noticed the issue where she lived. Kanagi says they should hunt witches in groups of 2 from now on. The girls thank Kanagi, who says it's no trouble. Kanagi leaves. Layla and Seika call her cool. Kanagi goes to Mitima's place and finds that Mane's leaving. Upon seeing Kanagi, the 2 girls run off, meeting with Mitima. Kanagi tells her to be careful. Mitima says she's been finding familiars around her place and she was having Momoko Togame help her clean them out. Kanagi muses that the conflict between East and West has calmed down, since Momoko was part of the team from the West. Kanagi says she's there to help Mitima if she needs it. Kanagi says Mitima must be making good business, but Mitima says most of her customers are first-timers. Kanagi then asks about the Mane sisters. Mitima says they come to be adjusted. Kanagi says she thinks Tusaka is avoiding her. Mitima says Kanagi should try to talk to Tsukasa. Kanagi agrees and heads to Kusasa's house in Artisan Ward. When she returns home and sees Kanagi, Tsukasa tries to run off. However, Kanagi chases her. Eventually, she catches up to Tsukasa and demands to know what's going on. Tsukasa asks if Kanagi is interested in releasing magical girls from the fate of becoming witches. Kanagi is surprised Tsukasa learned about that. Tsukasa says she can't accept becoming a witch. Kanagi says that Tsukasa chose to become a magical girl and she is responsible for her choices. Kanagi says Tsukasa can renounce her fate. But Tsukasa says there is a way. Tsukasa says there's a group called the Wings of Magius, which can save magical girls. She invites Kanagi to join. Kanagi asks if Tsukasa has considered if this group isn't trying to use her by making her false promises. Tsukasa says she trusts it and says she was invited by Tusako, who was invited by Mifuyu Azusa. Kanagi asks if the West is up to something. Tusaka says it's not about the East versus West. It's about saving magical girls. Kanagi says Tusaka was taken by a pipe dream and calls her pathetic. Tsuka asks that Kanagi won't change her feelings. Tsuka says that she and Tsuko plan to leave their homes once they graduate high school so they can live together happily. Tsuka points out that the fate of becoming a witch makes this seem impossible, which is why the sisters went to the Magius. Kanagi admits Tsuka can make her own choices, but asks if she'll be satisfied once she gets what she wants from the Magius. Kanagi thinks the Magius preys upon magical girls by their weakness and can approve or join. Kanagi says she will protect the magical girls of Kamehama, which includes Tsuka. However, she says she can't overlook Tsuka staying from the right path. Tsuka says she's probably not the only one, and says all the magical girls of the East want to be free from becoming a witch. Kanagi says she can't stop that, but she can bring peace to Kamehama. She asks Tsuka to lend her strength, but Tsuka says she's too weak. She thanks Kanagi and leaves. Kanagi thinks that people of the East live in a world where they're feared and avoided. Those who become magical girls have it even worse. Kanagi muses that when she became a magical girl, she didn't know about becoming a witch. However, she accepts the fate because it was still the result of what she chose. However, Kanagi still can't accept the discrimination she gets in Kamehama. It's shown that the people in the West Kamehama have a poor impression of those of the East in the past. Kanagi wondered how the people of the East could improve that impression. One day, Kyubey appeared before her and offered her a contract. Kanagi told him she wanted to change everyone's opinions on Daishio Ward, and that she believes that because it's Kamehama's history, she asked Kyubey to erase the history of Kamehama. Kyubey asked if she's sure about that, saying the change Kanagi could wish for could occur tomorrow or hundreds of years in the future. Thinking about it, Kanagi agreed that even changing Kamehama's history won't actually change people's options on Daishio. Kanagi decides that if there's something she can approve herself, she wants to know about it. She then made her wish to Kyubey. I wish to know the reason why everyone hates Daishio. From that wish, she attained the power to read minds, and also learned there was no reason why people hated Daishio. Kamehama's history and the poor safety of Daishio caused people to hate it without knowing why. Kanagi realized that Kamehama doesn't see individuals. They just see the circumstances around them. This causes a cycle of people getting hurt. In the present, Kanagi receives an adjustment from Mitima. Kanagi narrates that magical girls of the East are all joining the Wings of Magius. She talks with Mitima about it, and Mitima points out the girls from the East are the ones who most desire to be saved from their circumstances. Kanagi says she loves Daishio and wants Kamehama to live in peace and harmony. Kanagi thinks there is only one way to accomplish this, by destroying Kamehama. Kanagi says that when everyone has lost everything, people will be forced to work together and the old differences will vanish. Kanagi then mused that she doesn't have the power to destroy Kamehama, so all she can do is destroy witches and protect magical girls. Kanagi decides that she'll do what she can, and if the time comes, she'll destroy Kamehama to save Daishio. In Chapter 7, Section 10, Yachicho explains that Kanagi's personal magic lets her read minds. However, Kanagi has to transform and be close to do so. The characters of her last name mean harmony and fortune, respectfully, while her first name means 10, 7, and night, respectfully. Fact 1. The appearance of Kanagi's double is based off the lion dance, a traditional form of dancing in a costume in Asian countries. Fact 2. According to the design note, the doppel's weapons are bronze swords, and they are possibly the same as those used mainly for ritual purposes in ancient Japan. Fact 3. The description of Kanagi's doppel is a reference to The Cat Office, a short story by Kenji Miyazawa. The story is about a cat who works at an office with other cats, as if they were humans. Since the cat gets cold easily, he sleeps in a fireplace. This causes him to be covered in soot, and so he is known in the story as the Soot Cat. His co-worker cats look down on him for this and immediately bully the Soot Cat in the workplace. And in this end of the story, a lion, implied to be the boss of the cats, secretly observes the workers and reveals himself. He then declares that the office is shut down. The last line of the story is the narrator saying, "I half agree with the lion." Fact 4. Her maid name at her cafe is Mei Nagatan. Fact 5. Kanagi's Japanese voice actor is Sayaka Sembagi, who is known for playing Nifa in Attack on Titan Seasons 1 and 2 and 3, Success in Overlord 3, Shuna in That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, and Falfa in I've Been Killing Slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level. Her English voice actor is Jeannie Tirado, who has voiced Yukari Narahoshi in Luck and Logic, April May in Ace Detective. I meant Ace Attorney. Kohai Red Blood Cell in Cells at Work, Akira Yamamoto in Star Blazers Spaceship Battleship Yamamoto 2021, 2199 in Space Stars Battleship Yamamoto 2202, Warriors of Love, and of course, Norman from The Promised Neverland. I feel like I'm going to kill myself for mixing up the names. And so that is the end of the explain video on Kanagi Izumi. In the next one, we'll be talking about Michiya Yakumo. See ya next time.